Hello, this is Edith Neumeyer, and I am the author of the book, The Mystery of Adam. Well, I changed my channel's name to Great Deceptions of the End Times. I started out my channel talking about my book called The Mystery of Adam. And I wrote my book, I started writing it at least 15 to 20 years ago. And that was really the first deception that I discovered. I just did not want to continue to believe that God created the man and the woman not equal, and that only the woman was supposed to be submitting, or should I say obey, to the man. So I did some research, in-depth research, and I came across some very interesting things. And the bottom line was that the first human being was actually not a man. If you go to the original text, Hebrew text, it's very obvious. And even the old sages knew it. Matter of fact, even some Orthodox Jewish groups still know the truth. But it's not very public. What we got over the centuries, over the 6,000 years, was this understanding, this deception that the first human being was a man. And by doing so, they subjugated women throughout history. Pretty bad. Now, this deception is not just, it did not just stop, with subjugating women, but we have been exposed to deception for a long time, actually since the beginning of humankind. We were deceived right and left. And this deception is just, maybe, I'm not sure if it's if there's more deceptions, but what's happening today is that we are actually discovering these deceptions maybe more than in the past. See, in the past, we didn't have this internet and the news and, various kinds of medias that could tell us the truth. And so it was easy to deceive people. For instance, I can tell you about Germany during the Third Reich. People didn't have a TV, didn't have a newspaper, they didn't have radio, so they didn't get the information of what really is going on. And it was the same thing all over the world. In the United States, before the time of the radio, before the time of the TV, newspaper, there was local newspapers, but how many people could actually buy a newspaper? So today everything is global. And we get so much information and misinformation. Absolute misinformation. Now, this misinformation has been festering for a long time. We have been misinformed about our history, okay? And it's just slowly coming out, and we're learning what really happened during the First World War, Second World War, before the First World War. We are just now learning all these things. And it's a good thing that we still have the original newspapers, so we can actually go back and find out what really happened. But it was suppressed. The truth was suppressed. We did not learn about the truth about our history. We did not learn it. Remember, the victor will write history. The victor will write history, and they will write it so it will be beneficial for them. So today we're talking about this fake news, and there is a lot of fake news out there, especially the public news agencies. They are all owned, I believe, by one company. All right? They're all owned and manipulated by a group of people. So you cannot trust these public television, newspapers, or radio. So my information comes from private people. And then I'm always comparing. Because guess what? We don't get the truth, especially not on television. Okay, on these public broadcasts. We just don't get it. People are being deceived. Now I'll give you one example how we were absolutely deceived. Everybody knows still about 9/11. It hasn't been that far back, right? Most people know about it. And what we were told after 9/11, who brought down the towers, was very different than what we found out later on. Now, I remember that time very well. I saw it on TV and I'm thinking, this can't be real. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, this looks kind of strange. What? This happened? I mean, airplanes are flying in a high rise and they just collapse like no. I mean, I'm not even a scientist, I'm not an engineer, and that did not make sense to me. But we were told. We were told for the longest time. Well, we're still told. We're still not told the truth about what happened during 9/11. So we have to go to independent sources to really find out. Okay, I think people are waking up. They have been waking up to the fact that 9/11 was not caused by airplanes crashing into the Twin Towers. If you still believe that, I think it's time for you to wake up. It's time for you to wake up. So my channel is about waking up. It's about waking up. It's about exposing deceptions, whether these deceptions are biblical deceptions or political deceptions. Now, biblically, we have been deceived. Oh, we have been deceived so badly, okay? After writing my book and discovering this deception about the creation of human beings, I have discovered many other deceptions. And these deceptions are put there on purpose. The biggest deception that we are really facing today is the deception about the end times. We have a lot of deception, a lot of false teachers, a lot of false prophets out there. Now we have all kinds of shades. We have from 1 to 10, all kinds of shades in between. Okay? That's just the way it is, right? Some people believe this and this and this and this. Okay? I mean, there's two basic groups, but it's kind of muddled in between. And it seems like people have a hard time getting the truth. And they are even making excuses saying, oh, we cannot understand this stuff. Like, for instance, Daniel, right? Because Daniel, the book of Daniel didn't understand it. So they're saying, oh, yeah, well, we have an excuse. We can't understand things because God told him he's not going to understand it. Hey, we're living in the times when knowledge has increased. And because we're living in the times when knowledge has increased, we should be starting to understand it. We have a lot of knowledge that we can compare historical facts and see how it applies to Daniel, what Daniel was teaching. People don't want to do that. People want to be stuck in something somebody else is telling them. Now, the Antichrist, a lot of people think the Antichrist comes way at the end. What do you think we've been having for 2,000 years? Christ teaching? Did we have Christ teaching for the past 2,000? No, the Antichrist has been working at distorting Christ's truth for 2,000 years. Make no mistake. So this end times false teaching has been festering and festering and festering, and people are believing it because they are not reading their Bible, because they don't know Paul's teaching. I almost said theology, but I don't want to use that word theology. Okay? I know it's okay, but it's Paul's teaching. What did Paul teach? Most people don't even know what Paul taught. Okay, really. And then there's trying to go to end times prophecy. No, you need to understand the teachings of Paul first, the teaching of John, of Peter. And then you can put all these things together when it comes to the end times. It's very hard if you do not have a good understanding. So, I want to keep this introduction short to kind of interest you in listening to my videos. Go back and look at the things that I put on my channel. I have playlists, different playlists, and one playlist is for my book. So if you're interested in this deception, this great deception about the creation of humankind, you can go there and you can find out more about my book. I also have a playlist, I think for end times. I have a playlist for Revelation. I did a study on Revelation. I have a playlist, small playlist for anti-Semitism and Judaism and Noahide laws. So I'm making these little playlists so you can go to my playlist and see what I have. So, yes, subscribe to my channel, share it with as many people as you can, and also give me feedback. Give me specific feedback. If I am wrong with what I am teaching or preaching, let me know. I believe that the Holy Spirit is leading me. And I'm expecting everybody else to be led by the Holy Spirit. So when there is not an agreement, I want people to tell me and say, wait a minute, I think you're not correct in this area. But be specific, give me specific Bible verses, okay, that show clearly where I am in error. Okay, there may be some people that come across me that believe that women shouldn't be teaching or preaching. For me, that's not in the Bible. Okay, I have the Holy Spirit, and the Holy Spirit does not distinguish between a man and a woman. He gives a man and a woman gifts. Okay, and there's no distinction. So the gift he is giving me, he's expecting me to use. And my gift is discernment. Because I have the gift of discernment, I have to share what the Holy Spirit is telling me. Okay? I don't know if I have the gift of teaching. Maybe sometimes I am not as good teaching, but I'm trying to share again what the Holy Spirit is showing me. Okay? I have been a teacher all my professional life. So I guess I am not unskilled about teaching. So I have 2 master's degrees, so I am not an unlearned person. So yeah, give me your comments and subscribe to my channel. And as usual, let the Holy Spirit guide you.